Starting a recording here. I'm going to be recording a Blue Red Murktide League from Modern to be reviewed in the Discord here. And I'm going in a little bit different direction. Um, Perfectly willing to believe that I have assembled Murktide but worse, but I'm going to give it a shot. So the idea is that I think that Pick Your Poison is a really good card, and I wanted to, I guess, have Snapcaster Pick Your Poison as a line available to me, and I kind of filled in the rest of the deck with Wizards Matter cards. So I went with 8 fetches, 3 Steam Vents, 2 Thundering Falls, 5 basic islands, and an Otawara, 1 Breeding Pool for the mana base. Gonna see how smooth that is. I have Consider over Preordain because I expect to be playing at instant speed most of the time. I have Sleep Cursed Fairy as my 1 mana threat. Probably worse than Ragavan and Darcy in a lot of situations, but it is a wizard, and I think it is the best one. I wanted 5 Lightning Bolts, and I wanted no dead cards in my main deck, but Flame Slash is going to be dead some of the time. I've accepted this. Remand is something I am thinking about because of the Cascade decks running around, where Counterspell draw card seems pretty good there. The 4 Snapcaster Mages are because it's one of the better wizards. Spellstutter Sprite is a pet card of mine, also a wizard. Gonna give it a shot, also because of the Cascade decks running around. Synergizes a little bit with Sleep Cursed Fairy as well. All 4 counterspells because it's a good card. Archmage's Charm and Flame of Anor as the full set to try and pull ahead in the late game. I have 2 forces and a subtlety to try and not get out tempoed because of all these clunky 3 drops. 2 Murktides to close the game. And the sideboard as a bunch of mostly 4 cards that matter in the metagame. Cluster Storm as continued Cascade hate. 4 is a little heavy handed, but try to proof of concept here. I will refine it if I think it's worth pursuing. Couple Stern Scolding for Yawgmoth primarily, but it's also good against, I plan on rather bringing it in against Scam and Amulet. Subtlety because I think I'm a little bit weak to Amulet with this build otherwise. Pick Your Poison because I think it's great against the domain decks against Amulet. Any Urza Saga deck. Probably not super exciting against Hardened Scales, but um, I'm hoping that the rest of the deck will be able to finagle myself into a positive position. The lack of dress down makes me a little concerned against Hardened Scale specifically. And then explosives, hopefully to pick up some slack in that matchup, and against Hammer and Rhinos. So my sideboard's a little ham-fisted against Rhinos, I suppose, but we'll see where that goes. And those are my thoughts on how I got here. I do have enough play points to do a league. Smart. I'm so smart. All right, Modern League. Give it a shot. Looking at the current trophy leaders right now, I met this person at RC Denver, Pete 250. A really nice player, really good amulet player. Um, I was playing creativity at the time, and I was on the play on turn 3. I put 2 Archons down, and then he ended up and killed me. It was crazy. Okay, I lost the die roll. This hand does pass the Ragavan test. It's not really good against a Cascade deck unless I can get to 3 mana. Well, I'm gonna give it a shot. Hopefully I can use my surveils, my 1 surveil land here to. Oh god, amulet right away. Okay, time to win games 2 and 3. Yeah, that ain't it. Um, okay, breeding pool. There are no green cards in my main deck, so get out of here. Then, I am dead on turn, next turn, by most standards. So let's see what happens. Explore, sure. Losing the die roll, not very smart of me in this match. A stomping ground, okay. So I'm guessing we're on the new card from what's it called? MKM. Dryad's Fury thingy. Consider. You do anything? Maybe. Suppose I could consider for looking for that 1 subtlety that I put in the main deck, or for a Force of Negation if I need to. And I'm likely to need to. Presumably I should have some number of moons in the sideboard. Didn't think about that until just now. Deck supports it really well. Alright. Probably I am simply dead. Hmm. Dryad, huh? Well, I suppose that's fine. Hmm. So I guess my win condition is they need to pact for a Titan, and then I can consider into a force of negation and win. They just had the Colossus. They only have 3 cards in hand, and I can actually bolt this on entry. So I think I'm going to do that. And see where this goes. I know they have 1 land in hand. They probably have all 3 of them being lands, so this is likely to end badly for me. There's the Girl Turf. There's a Valakut. Oh boy. Uh, 3 Valakut triggers? They have the haste. Oh, they have both Valakuts. Yee. I feel dead. So I'm taking 12 damage. Probably I should have considered in response to the Cultivator Colossus. I could bolt it anyway. That was probably a tighter play, although the only punish is if I actually find subtlety. So let's see what they got for me here. Now they could even pay for a pact, so yeah, opponent winning the die roll and having a 2 amulet hand is very strong. I don't think I was. I would not say I would be favored from that position. There's the Titan. They probably have another one, I guess. I'll give it a consider, and then when I don't find subtlety, I will hit the concede button. Consider. Well, I guess I'm showing them that card. And didn't find it, so we're dead. I believe that my opponent knows how to win from the trivial position of have 2 amulets. Ha ha ha. Okay. Pick your poison, I definitely want. Subtlety I definitely want. I was planning on bringing in Stern Scolding. This is a very heavy sideboard plan, probably because my game 1 matchup is rather poor. So, what do we do here? Flame Slash and Bolt are not what we want here. Trying to actually beat a resolved Titan is a pain in the butt, though. Guess I have to plan on it never resolving. Yeah, this match is a little rough. Spellstutter can get packed. It's not very good otherwise. Sleep Curse Fairy on turn 1 is my fastest way to apply a clock. Flame of Anor is fine, but it doesn't kill a Titan. Bolt Snap Bolt is a way to kill a Titan, which is interesting. Um, I fully expect them to be on um, Defense Grid or Cavern or both, so it's not likely to go well for me. I guess Spellstutter can counter a Defense Grid. Remand. Do I care about Remand here? On the play, it's certainly better than on the draw. I don't think I care, though. So how am I actually winning? Ugh. Uh, Maybe I need the bolts in as like an actual win condition, like bolt snap bolt. I kind of like force of negation, kind of for pact. Um, Finding a Murktide is how I win, certainly. I think Spell Stutter is not for this matchup. I'll bring in some bolts. Maybe not all of them. This is not how I was expecting to play this matchup. I haven't played against Amulet in a hot second in a league, so I expect it to be bad. I'm just sad that I found it on the first go around. I think that I will leave 2 bolts and call it a day. Yes, would love to play first. I've got Sleep Curse Fairy. I've got this hand looks great. I've got Sleep Curse Fairy for my turn 1 threat. I've got they kept 7. Okay, well this is gonna be a horrifyingly tough matchup. I guess I'm gonna force a turn 1 Amulet. They probably have a Grazer though. I'm gonna shock this in just in case I draw a red spell. I don't want to let them know that I have it. Okay, I will force an Amulet for sure. If it's Grazer, then fuck me, I guess. Yeah, I figured. Amulet just always has the thing that I'm never prepared for. Really sad about it. Okay. Amulet's one of those decks that I've tried to play personally. Every time I do, I get raffle stomped, and every time I play against it, they have the nuts. That's my experience with Amulet. Very sad. There's it's a Wolf Run. This one can have a nice day. Get out of here. Then Murktide is a good one. I'm happy to see that. I need to get the game to a point where I can actually cast it. So I might untap my fairy this turn. If they cast something that I can Stern Scolding, I will Snap Scold it. Guess I'm untapping the fairy. Okay. Another fairy. It taps me out of Scolding, but it is a clock. Definitely attacking. I think it's worth putting down. Uh, 1, 2, 3, 4 mana. They're going into 5. I think counterspells. I think I'm unlikely to Snap Scolding this turn. But, I suppose they could have drawn exactly a Dryad or a Nazusa. If they have another Grazer, I think I would be unlikely to Scold it. Okay, I was correct. In this instance, they did not have something to Scold. Yep, sort of. Land? Counterspell's not a bad one. Coming at you. Okay, it's fine. So, hoping for not a Cavern of Souls. That is not a Cavern of Souls. So, what's happening here? Just a Titan? Colossus? Something like that? Titan, not interested. And pass turn. It's my turn. Okay. Playing this means that I have access to Snap Counterspell, which will accelerate my clock. And I will certainly force Subjugation anything. Probably pitching the Murktide at this point, honestly. Summoner's Pact. I did say I would force Subjugation anything. Does this count as anything? Um, I think it does. back and have a nice day. Transmute T West. Okay. Tashana's Tidebinder was a card I thought about including here, but I already have so many 3-drops. And Snapcaster 1 mana spell is another 3-drop, so I didn't think it was worth it. Okay. Flame of Anor, certainly a real magic card. Time for Delver Plan. Cool. Even if they resolve a Titan, that doesn't matter. Because I can just fly over it. I don't think I care about this. If it's a Colossus, I will certainly counterspell it. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Well, they don't have an amulet, so maybe I don't care. I haven't played a land yet. Hmm. There's a Titan. What is this? The Titan. I think this is a snap counterspell opportunity. Probably should have tapped my Utawara first for good posture. Okay. So we got the one on the play. Now I have to do one on the draw. I never saw a bolt. Turns out I didn't need it. Maybe Remand is worth having, and I can just try and stall for time until I can get in enough tempo beats or find a Murktide. Maybe that's okay. I give it a shot. The Bolt Snap Bolt would have. Notably, I never had full red. I didn't put a ton of red into the deck. Only 5 lands. Um, so Bolt Snap Bolt is something that's not guaranteed to be available to me on 4 mana, so I might only have 1 red. That's interesting. Not sure if the 4th Steam Vents should be in the deck, or like, thought about one Spire Bluff, but I really want 4 mana, either to hardcast Subtlety or to hold up Archetype plus Counterspell, or to get to Snap Counterspell, if I didn't say that yet, or even untapped 5 mana to get to Snapcaster plus 3-drop. So I didn't put any fast lands in, although I did think about it. Gonna give this a shot. I am not convinced. No lands. I am certainly convinced that that's a mulligan. Okay. Again. Huh. I'm gonna keep this. Probably putting Basic Island on the bottom. And then I have access to Fetch Surveil if Scolding's not useful, or if turn 1 Scolding is important, I can do that. I also have one of my subtleties, which I have identified as an important card. Okay. What a bug. Okay. Strong suspicion that I'm going to be surveilling this turn. Ugh. That's bad. Would very much like to draw. Oh god, do you have another one? No, good. Okay. I would have been really sad if they did. Right, Surveil says. Consider. Um, I think I'm okay with that. So if I have to, I wouldn't want to counterspell anything right away. Although this Scalding Tarn is probably reserved for green mana. But since I don't know what to fetch with the Scalding Tarn yet, if I need green or double red, well, it's probably going to be green. And this isn't preordained, so I don't have to fetch first because there's no ever stacking top. So I guess I will wait on that. Do this and pass, and then see what happens. See if I need to scold anything. They found another amulet anyway. Can you please stop? My heart can't take it. Okay. They don't have a bounce land though. Either that or they have nothing to do with it. Second subtlety. So they're gonna find this as an important card. I will keep it on top. Hopefully we can get to 4 mana so I can start hard casting these. Sleep Cursed Fairy. I want to cast that, but I think I would rather snap Consider if there's nothing else going on. And just in case I find a different fourth land naturally, then I'll keep the Oath War later. Okay, Snap Consider would be looking for a counter spell or another subtlety or a Peck Your Poison. Pick a Peck of Pickled Poison or something. Pretty cool. Don't want to accidentally surveil you into the graveyard. Okay. Ye Olde. Ooh. On top, please. Ye Olde Snapcaster. Consider at end of turn. Flame of Anor is fine, actually. Do I just do that now? I think I do. I'll get my beats in first, but I can. If I blow up one of these amulets, then a bounce land is no longer 6 mana. So, I like it. Cast. I would like to draw 2 cards and destroy target artifact. Me? This. Red, blue, blue. Leaving up in green in case. If I didn't have a subtlety. Did I play a land already? I must have. If I didn't have a subtlety, I might not have done that. I probably would have anyway, actually. It's a lie. Okay, remember when I said my opponents always have it? I stand corrected. Actually, with only 1 mana, I could have played the Sleep Cursed Fairy. I didn't need a hold of Stern Scolding. Archmage's Charm could steal the amulet, which is interesting. I don't know if I need to. Let's see what the Surveil says. Surveil says remand. I don't think I need that based on my hand, so I will win it. Get in my 2 points of damage. Oh, it's actually really funny. I could have stolen the thing and played the Surveil land, and then I would have untapped, and I could have held up a counterspell. But it's rather funny. If I just take this now, will I hold up subtlety? Does it matter? Well, Slave Crest Fairy asks me to play it sooner rather than later. So I think what I'm going to do is cast this, and then take their amulet to slow them down. Because I'm trying to beat them before they have enough to kill me. So slowing them down as much as possible is what I want to do here. Untapped. Well, that's a punish. Um, I wish I'd held up subtlety, because I kind of want to counter this. I have a Valakut in play already. They haven't shown me any additional lands. I think I still want to slow them down as much as possible. Okay, they agree. So I stand corrected. My opponents do not always have it. Okay, lost the die roll again. Not exactly well, not exactly my favorite thing. Um, this hand does not pass the Ragavan test. If it's something like Rhinos, I like having access to multiple counterspells. Something like Living End, it's the same. Like the hand is perfectly functional. If they happen to have Ragavan on turn 1 and be a Ragavan deck, then that would be sad for me. This looks like Scam. That's unfortunate. Probably have Scam. They're just thinking about what to pitch for their. Oh God, why do I say things? Oh nope, fuck. Uh, guess I'm gonna go for a Surveil land then. Look for an answer for this Ragavan. Snapcaster Mage being Ambush Viper is not my favorite way to answer Ragavan, although I will try it if I must. All right. What would be bad for them to hit? I don't know. A lightning bolt would be annoying. Flame of Anor they probably wouldn't cast. A fairy might be annoying. They just had a Misty. It's fine. What you got for me? Something for 3 mana? Fable? Ew. Okay. I think this matchup is fine, in theory. I have lots of draw twos. I do want a third land, so I think I'll keep it. So I need to get the 3 mana. Then I guess I'm gonna try and Snapcaster block this Ragavan. Be really sad about it. I could also theoretically. Oh, they're gonna get 2 treasures. And they chose not to discard, so their hand is stacked. Alright. I think. Let's see, I have to do something. I think that if I cast Snapcaster, it'll just get beat up, and then nothing, and then I won't have anything to do. I'm gonna I'm gonna not block here, and then hopefully they cast something like Shouldred and I can counter it. They took an island off my deck. Okay. I have infinite counter magic. Good luck. And by infinite counter magic, I mean I will remand shit out of his shoulder right now. Likely they take. I don't know what they take actually. Not one of the remands. If I were them, I might take. That's an option. Okay, so now they're not doing anything, so they time walked me with that Nazis. Where were you last turn? Um, so here. Well, now they know everything about my hand. Um, and I have not drawn a single piece of removal. I mean, I guess I have. I have Fleet's Flame of Anor, but boy howdy, does it suck. Um, I think I put this in tapped. I am willing to throw a Spell Stutter Sprite in front of a Ragavan. I don't want to. I don't want to Flame of Anor Ragavan, have them untap and shoulder me. They didn't do anything, but they have 3 cards that they all wanted. So I think I am going to get shouldered, which means I think I'm going to end up spriting this Ragavan. They'll get to resolve Shouldred, and then I'll Flame of Anor it. Yeah, I think I'm just dead. Didn't pass the Ragavan test. They had it. That's so annoying. Here's the thing. I think this will resolve. It might even get to block the Ragavan. I think it will. I'd be surprised if they kill this. Oh, sure. Man, Bowmasters is so good. Okay. Let's see if they have the children. Children of Fable. Okay, well, they really don't like me having lands. I think they've taken three of them. Yeah. Oh, it's just grief. Okay. I mean, I'm dead anyway. All right. They got me on this one. I can't draw anything here. Okay, so that was a. I did not pass the Ragavan check, and they annihilated me. Remand is bad, but I think the rest of the deck is fine. Well, maybe not Force of Negation. Um, so pick your poison only gets Fable. That's not good. Subtlety is okay. Like I can subtlety a grief scam. Casting it for 4 mana is nice, but I have to get there. Did not build my sideboard with scam in mind. Kind of figured my ability to just have infinite 2-for-1s would be good for me. But maybe I need more removal. Because all I really have are these 5 1-mana things. Flame of Honor is good, but it's 3 mana, and they're a very mana efficient deck. So I'm looking at explosives as my only other form of removal. Because I definitely don't want Remand. And I don't love subtlety against them. It just might be the best of the options that I included in my 75. What else would explosives hit? I could get it up to 3 with this green source to get Fable if I had to. 2 gets Bowmasters and Dalthy, which are both annoying cards for me to deal with. I'm not sure if that's enough for me to care. 0 can get treasure tokens and goblin tokens off of, and orc tokens. So like it's got uses. Is that better than subtlety? I'm not sure. I'm gonna try it like this. Okay, do we pass the Ragavan test yet? We do. That's exciting. Um, we don't pass the grief scam test, but they have to take Bolt and probably Murktide if they have it. Um, I'm gonna keep this hand. If they have a turn 1 Ragavan, I have the answer to it this time. I also don't like mulling against Scam. Like, I have 4 lands, 3 spells, I'm probably gonna keep it. If I wanted to sideboard against Scam, I might include a Veil of Summer or 2. Okay. That is not what I wanted to see. I think I'd like that to be a Surveil land, but they might play a 1-drop this turn. So, if they do, I guess I get an island, and if they don't, I guess I Surveil. But I was thinking about playing basic island. Okay, they decided they are running a Surveil land. I think Scam is a deck that's kind of close. They kept on top. I wonder if they kept a 1-lander. Um, I think Scam is a deck that's kind of close on whether or not you want to Surveil land, because you're a very mana intensive deck. Patch. Interesting. Alright, I guess I get to Surveil. Hooray me. Looking for any spell. That is not a spell. It's also the worst land for me to see, putting into the graveyard. Unlucky me. Draw land anyway. Really wish I had a Surveil land left in my deck. Thanks, deck. Uh, this is a. I think this is a a match where I feel like my deck is underperforming. I feel like I'm catching some slightly rough variants, although my sideboard should probably be reconfigured. This feels like a Bowmasters. I'll just do this. Really wish I had a Surveil land. Okay, that's a real card. Um, Thinking about playing Basic Island here, and I'm gonna do it just in case they You know what? They're actually really likely to hardcast Grief here, and that's really annoying. Yeah, that's one of their better ways to beat counterspell decks. It's just here's my 2-for-1. Yep. So what I'm gonna do here is Flame of Anor myself, because I want the +1, and then Bolt the Grief. Jesus. Okay, that my deck just does not want to play today. My deck is like scam. Nope, that's unbeatable. Bye, Murktide. All right, can I draw a spell, please? Where were you last turn, Joker? I'll play the stepped. Yeah, and I'm basically dead unless I can start drawing my 2-for-1s. I guess Otawara is kind of a spell. Uh, Here's this. They'll probably bolt it, and then I'll get a 2-for-2. No? Okay, got my 1-for-0. Exciting. Snapcaster Mage would be a great draw too. It says they're paying costs. What are they casting? Bowmasters. This makes sense. Get this out of here. And then I think they know the rest of my hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. I think the Scolding was the only thing they didn't know. Alright. I think they would have had a or cast another Bowmasters if they had had one. So, yes. Right on top. Alternatively, I can Otawara my own Spellstutter Sprite to rebuy it. But this is a good draw. Okay. Looks like they did not have the punish on my weak hand. I kind of hope they do have Shieldred, so I can just kill it and draw 2 cards. Murder draw 2 is basically Ancestral Recall. You can quote me on that. So I hope that that lines up well. But they do have 5 cards I have to get through, and they're not doing anything. It's fascinating. Does this mean they have another Bowmasters? Yes, it does. Okay. So, um, how do I want to do this? I can draw 2 cards right now. I can let the Bowmasters resolve. I can let the Bowmasters resolve and then kill it and draw 2. I think that's the line. I'm not happy about it though. Especially not if they have a Undying effect, which is something that's rather likely. Yeah. Target me, target this. Then they probably have Undying. They don't. Okay. And I did draw 2 spells, so that's exciting. I kind of wish I had had either of these before, though. They put 2 of these on my spell setters, right? Okay. Well, one's going to fizzle and they won't get a counter on this. That's interesting. Go to my draw step. Ah, Archmage Charm. That is a real card, and I like it. I'm at 15, so it might be worth shocking this in, so that I have Bolt and Charm available in the same turn cycle. Um, but it might not be. 2 life points might be worth more than some tempo here. I'm willing to be wrong about this, but I'm a fiend for tempo, so we're playing it on taps. Okay. So I do have a draw two, which is nice. If they cast something worth countering, I will do so. Uh, I don't know what I want to do about this yet, so I'm gonna let it go. That was Otawara it. Liliana of the Veil. What year is it? My word. Um, so she can plus, and then I can. Huh. Okay. Do I have to counter this, or can I play through it? Her ultimate doesn't really matter. It's the minus that I'm annoyed with. Um, plus I can outpace with my draw twos, I think. I'm gonna let this resolve. Also willing to be wrong about this. Yes. You can have my Otawara. They had a Legion's End. Why? What if I think I'm a more typical version of Tide? I would love to draw two cards here. If they have another Bowmasters, I'll bolt it before this resolves. Alright, those are goodies. I'm in. So Flame of Anor only gets creatures, but I do have access to Snapcaster Flame on their thing. I'll hold some cards in my hand here. Counterspell, good draw. Um, I can Bolt Snap Bolt this Liliana, but I'd rather snap Flame of Anor, which is what, 5 mana? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I can also hold up Counterspell. Then maybe I'm trading the Snapcaster in combat. I don't love that. Okay, so I think I'm discarding a Bolt. And then I have to get rid of this Liliana at some point. I'm not trading off the Snapcaster in combat. That would be foolish of me. They have 3 cards in hand. Can I take 2 more points of damage? I probably can. This could be a little greedy. Okay, go to end. Snapcaster. And I would love to Flame of Anor. Target. Flame. If they have Bowmasters, I will counterspell the living heck out of it. Draw 2, deal 5. 1, 2, 3 mana. Fatal Push. I don't think that's worth a counterspell, though I am sad about it. Not bad. More draw twos. Just what I wanted. Sleep Cursed Fairy. Okay, I'm into this. Probably gonna discard the Scolding to Liliana. If she edicts, I can bolt her. Currently I have 6 mana, so I have access to a lot of things. And then end game is gonna be Dragon plus Counter Magic. The usual Murktide suspects. I can also untap this to twice while still holding up Counterspell. If the Liliana pluses, that is kind of annoying. I'll be discarding Scolding at that point. Also, why is Liliana in here? Minus. Well, we're certainly not untapping now. I will sacrifice this one. Yeah, I wonder what matchups this is for. Like, against Leyline Binding decks, I guess you can get a 2-for-1. Kind of. No, it's like a 2-for-2, right? When you go through that. Bolt out of here. I could charm to draw two, just right now, but I might rather have Murktide with double protection. Yeah, I think that's better. That's bound to happen eventually. Um, if they have K Command or another Liliana, then I suppose I will want to have this. One bolt and stay in the graveyard. I don't think I need to flashback consider anymore, and I have an Archmage's Charm in my hand. All right, 2-turn clock. Oh, I guess if I really want to, I can use all my mana um, have 3 layers of protection through like grief, terminate, or something. Oh, they do have a K command. I'm gonna discard a card, and they want their Bowmasters back. Bowmasters doesn't matter. I'm still gonna kill them in 2 turns. I am sad about this, but I guess they can have a Bowmasters. That puts me to 8. They can't attack yet. I go to attack, they put me to 6. If they have 2 bolts, I still have 2 counter spells. So yes, this is fine. I will not be countering this. Okay. Funny. Now I wish I'd kept the land in my hand. I guess the Liliana Edict effect is good in like grindy matches. What's a grindy match in Modern nowadays? Nothing. I'm very surprised to see Liliana avail. No thanks. I'm gonna use the actual counterspell here because Archmage's Charm is modal, and I don't know what I want to do with it yet. Likely it is counter target spell, but it's not guaranteed. Suppose I'm allowed to draw 2 cards if I'm willing to trigger Bowmaster twice. My life points might matter, so ooh, that's a good one. I can counter a 1 mana spell now. So I guess if they try and triple bolt the Smirktide, I can counter one of them. Somehow, if they have triple bolt, I suspect they're all going at my face. Yep, this makes sense. They can't block on in the air anyway. So if they have double bolts, I will have right for that. If they have a removal from Murktide, they will need a second removal spell. Shieldred. Um, that doesn't save them. You can have it. Okay. Okay. Not clicking through combat here. I would like to win the game, please. And if you plan on drawing any cards, I will counter that spell. Okay. Now I have to win one on the draw. Subtlety never showed up, but it exists. I could even put another subtlety in on the draw to have some amount of counterplay against turn 1 Grief Scam. Although, I think hard casting Grief is one of their best ways to get card advantage in this matchup, like to grind out my stuff. Because if they're turning Archmage's Charm into a 1-for-1 rather than a draw 2, that is, I think, slightly advantageous to them. So I am thinking about cutting 1 Spellstutter Sprite for the 4th Subtlety, since Spellstutter is vulnerable to Bowmasters, and it is slightly worse on the draw. And I never at any point wished that I had an Explosives, so try this. have to win on the draw. Ew. Man, 20 lands is like 0. Man, 20 lands is like way too many. Okay, we're gonna keep this. If they go to Grief Scam me, then I guess I will be pitching solid or subtlety, but oh wait, do they have a leyline? Rude. Okay. And a theater. Okay. So at least I have a Sleep Curse Fairy. That is one of my best ways to beat a leyline. They do not want a grief. Interesting. Untapped so that I don't have to tell them when I draw a lightning bolt. Alright. I don't want a subtlety this turn cycle, but I think I can race that. I'm really sad about it, but I think I can. Um, so sure, you can have it. Then I think I'm likely to play Sleep Cursed Fairy again. Maybe it's better to hold up Counterspell because they're going into a 3-mana turn. Bolt is an excellent draw, holy crap. So I can hold up Counterspell because they're going into a Fable turn, and Fable is a pain in the butt. And then I'll figure it out from here. 3 mana. If they have Liliana, I am priced into countering it at this point because I need this creature. And if they do nothing worth anything, yeah, you got me. Congrats. Then I suppose I can remove a stun counter from this thing, or I can surveil. Um, which one's more useful to me? Oh, another Bowmasters? That's annoying. Um, I strongly suspect that they have an Undying effect. Um, so I could kill the Orc army. It is the biggest creature after they hit me with this. Or I could go after one of the Bowmasters themselves. Kind of into the Orc army, actually. I want as much time as possible. You got me there. Or I could do an untap. And then next turn I can threaten another untap plus bolt. Don't love it. I'm gonna get the Surveil land here, I think. Surveil says, keep that right on top. And then, um, huh. Interesting. Now I can actually double bolt through an Undying effect, which is certainly interesting. But I think I'm just gonna save as much life as possible. Get this out of here. Okay, they were F6'd, pretty sure. So I don't think they have an Undying effect. I kind of want to put down another Sleep Cursed Fairy before I get it discarded out of my hand. I could Surveil with this, but I'm likely to use it on a counterspell. And my opponent is watching for my fetches, so here's this. Comes in pretty fast. They're likely F6'd, but I might have to hold up counterspell, so I'm not going to try and punk them out in that regard. Okay. Okay. If literally nothing happens here, I will remove a stun counter from one of my creatures. Liliana, hey? Well, I did say that I was priced into countering that earlier, because I want both these creatures. Ooh, Spellstutter Sprite is a hot draw right now. Let's get one of these out of here. And then pass. If they don't attack, then that means they're respecting my untap. If they do attack, I'm not gonna untap, because I'd rather be able to counter a 3-drop. No, thank you, sir or madam. Or, friend. If they attack now, then I think that means they have an undying effect, and I would rather not walk into that. Just have my Air Force in a moment. Okay. Nice. That is a good draw. Now, even if they have Shouldered, I have 4 fairies. It's insane. Okay. They have the 9-turn clock, and I have a faster clock than that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What you got for me? Another one. I also have another one. No, thank you, sir or madam or friend. Another one of those as well. I'm definitely playing the Sleep Cursed Fairy. Well, am I? So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 2-turn clock if I do it like this. Maybe I'm supposed to hold up Subtlety? What would I be interested in subtletying? I would subtlety a Shieldred for sure. Actually, would I? Heavy damage. I wouldn't subtlety a Shieldred. Um, I might subtlety a Bowmaster. Um, Grief doesn't matter. I don't think there's anything that I would actually subtlety in this situation. So, here's another one. My army of fairies. Have fun. Please do not have um, a way out of this. I'm not sure what that would be, but like Plague Engineer on Fairy would be a pain. I guess it's not common, but that would be a reason to hold this subtlety back. A 3-mana Wrath, not really common. Bowmaster would keep them alive for another turn. A command, that does keep them alive. Well, it's funny, never didn't happen. I'll attack with all my creatures. And then I am likely to... If they attack, I'm likely to not block, and then try to remove... Okay, didn't have to think about it, but was thinking about removing um, a stun counter from the fairy that I'd played most recently. Okay, that didn't show up in one of those games, but turned out okay otherwise. Man, I am really good at losing die rolls today. Um, okay, this hand almost passes the Ragavan test. I think I'm gonna keep it. Um, would be much more comfortable on the play. Swear to some okay creature type god. Uh, no Ragavan. It's good for me. This might mean living end. If it's living end, I would like more counter magic, but I really need to hit a third land drop with his hand. So let's bin that. I think. Like Steam Ed's nothing is either living end or rhinos. I think. What is this? Lorian? Is that a creature to consider? Okay, it is living end. Yeah, Steam Vents pass. Very suspicious. Okay, and I have Spellstutter Sprite. This is one of the matchups that I specifically included Spellstutter for. Can't force a negation in that one. Okay, they do not want to land. Interesting. Okay. I suppose they could have Grief and land. Like I said, if they have third land, Grief, black card, force blue card, then they got me. Land Cycler. No, not a Land Cycler. Regular Cycler. This is kind of rough because I don't know if it's ever safe to tap out for this consider. Okay. Alright, if they do it at sorcery speed, I'm jamming Counterspell. They do have the Grieve. Okay. So, I mean, if their hand is 3 lands, double protection, Cascade, then they got me. Presumably they take Sprite here. Yep. Alright, well. What you got for me? Well, they didn't go. I'm not gonna hit a land, though, so this is rough. Tapped, I guess. Oh no, it might be untapped, because then they can cycle. And then also Cascade. Okay, so I fully suspect that they have a Cascader. Um, just not a force of negation currently. Let's see, what did they end up pitching? A living end? Yeah, living end. Right, would love to find another sprite or a remand if it's not a land. Would love to find a land. I think they also only have exactly one Cascader. There's a stop in my upkeep, so they found the force of negation. Yep. I guess I'll die then. Or they found a second Cascader. That might actually be what they found. I have to hope it's the second Cascader, and that I find exactly Force of Negation of my own. Force Pitch Subtlety. It's always Subtlety. It's never not Subtlety. Oh, it's Force Pitch Force. Then, sure, you got me. Remember when I said a minute ago if they had double protection that I was just dead? Man, that's annoying. Okay. Um, so Bolt and Flame Slash are unplayably bad. Flusterstorm is great. Subtlety, I think, and Scolding, I think, are both interesting here because they interact well with Grief. Um, Flame of Anor is kind of weak, so just let me put 4 cards in. It does. Okay, so the plan is never let their thing resolve. I don't have a Chalice in the sideboard. Maybe I should. Would love to have a turn 1 Sleep Cursed Fairy. Guess I'd like to play first. This is not a turn 1 Sleep Cursed Fairy, but oh boy, does it have protection. I believe I will be doing a turn 2 Ambush Viper. Maybe, actually. Maybe having access to Snapcaster back Flusterstorm is better. Would like to find a third land. Would like to find more counter magic. Yes, Veil. More counter magic. Um, yeah, I guess. It is one of the things I just said. Although not finding a third land is a little sad. Okay, so I think at this point I am going to throw down Snapcaster's Ambush Viper, because I have many protection cards after that. Although Force only works if I find a third land, or if they go on their turn. So I'm going to put Snapcaster in because I need to put pressure on them, but I'm not the most thrilled about it. I have, and if I don't do it this turn, then I have no time to do it in the future. If I don't draw another land. Yep, there it is. Ambush Viper. Be afraid. Well, you know, sometimes you just have a full house in your hand. Bonk. Some number of cyclers or land cyclers. There's a cycler. There's another one. Alright, what you got? Right, opponent, you can go at any time. I have so much counter magic. Would prefer they go on their turn so that I can use my Force of Negation. I guess they could also wait till they have 5 mana. And then that beats a Flusterstorm. They always have it. Okay. I didn't look last time, but this time, 9 cards enter the exile zone. So the Steam Vents, I think, is the one they cut off of the Oliphant. So that means, yeah, that They did bring in Mystical Speed, that makes sense. One Force of Negation is not in their hand. Doesn't tell me much. Fluster this. Same targets, same targets. Okay. I guess they would need 6 mana to beat a Flusterstorm, right? Yeah. Because it's not Spell Pierce. Spell Pierce would be 5. Okay, I would really like to find a third land, please. Good luck, opponent. They'll take a Flusterstorm here. What did they end up pitching? A Street Wraith, I think. Yeah, guess they just found the Grief this turn. I think they would have gone with it otherwise. So I'm guessing they have one more Cascader in their hand. My hand is literally 6 counterspells. Good luck. There's no way in the world that they don't take Fluster here. It's my best one. Oh. What does that mean? That means they're planning on hard casting creatures. Do they have the mana to do that? Not yet. Let's see, they played Besage You, which makes me think they don't have another land besides that. Subtlety, where were you last time? I mean, you're still a good card, but if I have to draw non-land, Subtlety's not a bad one. Oh, they have Endurance. No, not Endurance. What is this? Otawara by Snapcaster Mage. Hardcast Subtlety. That's annoying. Man, I think I'm gonna lose to this. That's so rough. Yeah. So in order to beat this, I will need to draw 2 more lands very quickly, or I will have to Subtlety right now. Which I don't think I want to do. I don't have a good way to remove this from the board. Huh. Alright. I'm gonna go for it. Subtlety your thing. And then I'm just gonna not attack. Snapcaster next turn if they put it on top. And they probably will put it on top. They put it on top. Okay. So they're drawing Subtlety. And I don't have bolts. So it's gonna be rough. I guess I could put Spell Setter onto the battlefield. But it doesn't help me very much right now. So I'm gonna not do that. I'm gonna not attack here. Other Subtlety, very funny deck. Can I ever have a third land this game? Is it possible to do anything else in my sideboard? I could have Pick Your Poison in as removal for their flying creatures. Ugh. I could have Flame of Anor in as oh, they didn't want to cast Subtlety. Interesting. I'm guessing they're saving that for Spellstutter Sprite then. Try to go off. Okay, Counterspell is good. But I still need to find a third land. at some point. Preferably a fourth one, too. Alright, what do we got? Cycler? Yeah, Flame of Anor, I guess, does cover Hardcast plan, but, not well. Urborg, okay. They have 7 mana. That's so much. Okay. See what happens here. Finally. I guess I'll play this untapped. I still don't have good attacks. Unless I'm planning on counterspelling their subtlety. Which I guess I can do now. So if I do that, they get subtlety for 4 mana. They have 3 left over to cascade, but they can't get through Fluster. On the next turn, I guess they could have Hardcast Grief. Alright, I don't think this is getting better for me. If they have Hardcast Grief, I can always subtlety it. Okay, if they're just taking this hit, then I think they're planning on setting up a combo turn. Which my subtlety does help with. Okay, they are not planning on taking this hit. Okay. To my opponent's shock and surprise, here is a counterspell. If they pull the trigger on their turn, I have Force and Fluster. If they go now, I have Fluster. Okay. If they have double Cascade on their turn, I still have Force and Fluster. If they have Grief and double Cascade, I have Subtlety, Force, and Fluster. Probably pitching the second Fluster and holding on to the Spellstutter Sprite if I have to. If I have to pitch cast. No, that's. I'll probably do that for the first pitch cast. Whatever I do. Black mana. What are we doing with this? That doesn't cast anything. Oh, that does cast something. Yeah, that one's a problem. I think I've lost this game. I don't think I can beat that. Like, I can subtlety it, but but I can't kill it. I think I have to let this go. So I can subtlety it, pitching one of the flusters. Maybe find a counterspell and hit them down to 6. They can't profitably attack with it currently. If I find 4th land, then subtlety hardcast becomes real. They are also representing Mystical Dispute. Ugh. There's Reach too. Quite poor for me. So subtlety, I guess I can have it. I have some amount of time, but if they resolve a cascade spell, then I have 0 amount of time. Okay, that's a way to stay in the game. If they have the Mystical Dispute, then I guess they have Mystical Dispute. Please don't have mystical dispute. Okay, thanks. Thank you. Okay, so now I can start attacking with both at some point. And start attacking. Um, it's possible I was supposed to wait till this was a 7/7. I I saw 5 cards in my graveyard. I just kind of thought it was a 7/7. That was bad on me. Because now I can't attack directly. Okay, so what does this mean? Currently, they have to pay 3. Okay, 12 cards entered the reveal zone. I think they've shuffled since then. So, um, certainly targeting this and I think I'm pitching 1 Flusterstorm here. So currently 1, 2, 3 spells cast. Pitch 1 Fluster. I need to get this bigger. Casting something with Snapcaster would get it bigger. Finding another Murktide and filling my graveyard would get it bigger. Okay. 1 living end, 2 living ends. They have at least 1 more. Probably 2. I probably will double block a Generous End if they attack with it. I don't know why they would attack with it. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Flying creature is pretty nice. The issue with it is that then I'm tapped below Spellstutter and Flusterstorm. Uh, I think I might just have to live in that world. Being tapped below both for a turn. I mean, I don't have to live in that world, I guess. I can. I don't have to, but I do have to win the game. And they have this food token. Um, so they didn't fight me back on that force, which makes me think they have maybe 1 layer of protection left. Yeah, they can't attack. I'll hold up both my pieces of interaction until I find land 4. I'm sad about it, though. Yeah, no attacks. Finally. So here's land 4. I guess I can cast Subtlety, but if they have another Violent Outburst, then that's bad for me, since I don't have a force anymore. So here's a Sleepcrest Fairy. So they know my whole hand, I think. Hmm. Gaining life on the food makes sense. I don't think I want to start untapping this or tap out a 3 mana. That's interesting. Um, the target Snapcaster Mage, I just don't know if it'll ever be safe to do so. Um, if I play this land, then I can either untap Sleep Cursed Fairy or flash in Subtlety at the end step. If I do that, then Subtlety would be 1 spell, Cascade 2, their thing is 3. Fluster Storm would be pay 4, which they could actually do. So flashing in Subtlety still not the smartest idea. But untapping Sleep Cursed Fairy, not the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Bouncing Snapcaster is something I really want to do, but I don't think it's safe to tap out of, so I'm going to play this. And then maybe untap Sleep Cursed Fairy? I haven't decided yet. What is this? Alright, so they're going. I guess they have enough protection to fight through this now. It's annoying. Here's this. Have fun. Storm 3. What does this 4-man play? Subtlety, I guess. Um, this is presumably because they have another Cascader. They certainly can't beat this, so not like right now anyway. Same target, same target, same target, same target. Okay. They know my last card. Um, so they're gonna have a subtlety. I'm gonna need to figure out how to get to a Murktide Regent. Maybe I should Surveil looking for Murktide. I can either Surveil looking for Murktide or I could untap Sleep Cursed Fairy once, but it'll just get eaten, so I think Spellstutter's going to the bottom. Sorry, Spellstutter. Looking for a Murktide or a Snapcaster Mage. Sleep Cursed Fairy is close, but it is not one of the cards that I just said. Alright, I hope they just do not have access to their last living end. Either they sided it out or only play 3. But I would suspect that they play 4. Okay. Yeah, I think I pulled the trigger on my Murktide too fast. So if I lose this one, I think it's for that reason. I'm just waiting for them to slam a Shardless Agent. Actually, I really hope they just drew their 4th living end. That's a rude attack. I think this means they have a Violent Outburst. So if I double block, they get to kill my dragon. I can take a hit. Alright, they simply do not have a fourth living end. Ever. Oh, they have another generous end, I bet. That's a pain in the ass. Vomit? Oh, Pluto Delta. Not not a great option here. Um, alright, that's 5 power, right? Okay. So I guess I could untap Sleep Cursed Fairy twice. Would really like to draw a Snapcaster Mage really badly. Or another Murktide Regent. Both are acceptable. Yeah. It's not good for me. I still think they have a Violent Outburst. But this attack puts me to 1 life, so I think I have to double block. Not a fan of this, but here we are. Um, yeah. Murktide first, Violent Outburst. I get to keep the Snapcaster Mage. I can triple block for Generous End next time with Fairy Subtlety Snapcaster. hmm Yeah, I'm losing this game too. Pulling the trigger on Murktide too early. Uh, how many cards just got revealed? All of them? Probably. It doesn't tell me? That's annoying. I'm pretty sure it was all of them. Yeah, nothing. Yes, I agree. So I will be taking 6 damage here. Yep. Don't have another Surveil land. It's lame. So the deck has 34 cards. So I can hit this button until it says 34, and I will know what's left in my library. Down to 37, 6, 5, 4. Okay. So do they have any subtleties in here? Um, I don't actually see. Oh, there's 1, 2, 3. So if they haven't cited out of a subtlety, that means they have one in their hand. Untap this. Which will be really annoying for my subtlety. If I have a dragon. Wow, where were you last turn? So close. Man, I really needed this last turn. Holy shit. Um, okay. Guess I'm casting subtlety. Man, if I cast subtlety, then I get punked, right? They can gain 3 life. It's fine. I'm gonna cast subtlety now, so that I don't get punked by theirs if they have it in their hand. No targets. Okay. Snapcaster just one pair too late. It's my fault for not counting. Alright, if they attack, I will triple block. Oh, they have another Violent Outburst? That's annoying. Um, that means I have to snap this in, doesn't it? So this attack tells me that they have another Violent Outburst. Uh, so that if I triple block this, I die? They can kill both my flyers too. Um, this is some BS. Alright. Sure, I'll target Force of Negation. Doesn't do anything, but here we are. Now, how do I not die for the next couple turns? I can put Snapcaster in front of Shardless easily. I can put my Subtlety in front of Subtlety. And I can jump the Generous End. That doesn't force them to use their spell, though. I think it is the most optimal way I can block. This must be blocked because it kills me. This one doesn't have to be blocked. But if I don't block it, it's bad. So I don't know what I'm looking for anymore. This doesn't force them to use their thing. Kills everything except for their one thing and my thing. I'm sad about this. Really need to draw that other dragon, like right now. Yeah, I was unable to force them to use their spell. I think they have a subtlety too. So even if I find the dragon, it's probably not good enough. What is this? Suspend Living End? Cast Grief? Probably cast Grief, right? 5. Oh, okay. Basically Grief. Dragon? Found all my lands from before. Man, this one's on me. Just needed that Snapcaster one turn earlier. Or possibly I could have held the Otawara. Possibly. Bounced my one Snapcaster that I had in play. Maybe gotten something that way. So I don't think there's a way to win now. Now I have to do this. Was there a better way to block last turn? There might have been. I think there was probably a better way to block last turn. Although, what would it be? It would have been like triple block the Generous End. And single block the Subtlety. Then their 2/2 is still alive, and then I probably die anyway. Alright. No. Okay, that one's on me for using my Murktide Regent wrong. Man, just hard casting Generous End is a beating. I'm not quite sure what to do about that one. Besides counter it, I guess. Find 4 mana earlier for my Subtlety. Make Murktide a 7/7. I guess if I decided to keep any number of bolts, I could bolt, snap, block, and bolt. Oh, hey, I want a die roll. That's exciting. This hand is not particularly exciting, but I could do turn 1 surveil land, turn 2 remand, and go from there. I think it's reasonable enough that I will keep it. See what you got for me, opponent. Blooming Marsh. Well, fuck me, I guess. Land. No. Bolt. Sprite. That's really bad for me. Okay, guess I'll just die then. Really hope this is a, not grist. Shit. Alright, worst possible for me. Ugh. Alright. Um, maybe I should just concede this match. My sideboard is set up wrong for this. Sleep Cursed Fairy. Needed you earlier. Uh, yeah, I need more. So I need more, forward interaction, I think. For Scam, it's okay, but for this deck, it's, I don't know, kind of egregious. Maybe I need Brotherhood's End or something. Not really the biggest fan of Curse Totem. Uh, okay. What does this mean? This means what, like Endurance or Cord or something? Whether they're just gonna fling something at me? No. Soul Cauldron, okay. And they have the Yawgmoth. I cannot win this game. I'll fire Remand into this because I need to find a removal spell, but that's certainly not a removal spell. Jesus Christ. Okay. That isn't a removal spell either. That's not a removal spell either. That's not a removal spell either. Okay. So I think Stern Scolding and Subtlety are my only things that matter here. Remand is horrible. Force of Negation is horrible. Spell Stutter is not great. Explosives is interesting. Pick Your Poison doesn't have very many targets, I don't think. It's just Soul Cauldron. So I need to be a control deck. Um, Alright, I think the one game that I won the die roll in game 1, I got brutalized the most. That sucks. Snapcaster's fine. Thinking about Sprite here. Not Flame of Lenore, I want those. They handle artifacts. Hmm. It's also funny that I wanted to be really heavy-handed against Cascade and lost 0-2 to that, so it's not entirely sure what that means for this exact configuration here. Um, Alright. So I need to... God damn. I just cannot find one of my 5 bolts ever. So if I keep this, if they have a turn one halfling, it's horrible for me. If they have anything else, it's fine. Then I can counterspell whatever they do on two, and then go into Archmage Charm Subtlety. I'm gonna bank on them not having a halfling. If they do, then my hand just falls apart. I'm level 6. Okay. Pendelhaven. Well, there goes my hand. My entire hand is ruined. I'll let them have this one and hopefully draw lightning bolts. Sleep Cursed Fairy. What a joker. Um, I guess I. Hmm. How do I do this? I put down Sleep Cursed Fairy, tapped Steam Vents, Pitchcast Subtlety on Counterspell on their Grist that they certainly have, and then Archmage's Charm the Halfling. And then they recast Grist. And then it's bad, but I'm not dead. Alternatively, I get a hold up Counterspell right now, and if they cast anything that's not Grist, I can counter it, and then Archmage's Charm from there. That's better. I could choose not to play the Fairy. Um, if they have Grist, I choose not to play the Fairy. I subtlety pitching the Fairy. Archmage's Charm this thing. They still have Grist either way. I think I'm gonna put the Fairy down, and if they do something that's not Grist, then I should have held up Counterspell, but the faster this thing enters the battlefield, the faster I can start attacking, so this is the plan here. Here's hoping for no Grist. That's fine. But it's not a Grist. Fetching after Young Wolf? For what, a Bowmaster? Legendary spells. What is this? Oh, right. Soul Cauldron would have also been uncounterable, so I have no regrets for casting the Sleep Curse Fairy. Another Sleep Curse Fairy. Um, alright. Give me that. Here we go. I don't want to pitch cast Subtlety, but I might have to. I need to figure out how I want to approach the Yawgmoth matchup here. Okay. They are attacking. That's fine. Don't care about that. Bowmasters. They do have Bowmasters. Okay. Also fine. Consider. Right off time. Thanks, Bowmasters. Um, well, I'm gonna hold up Subtlety or Counterspell. I'd consider if I really want to grow their Bowmaster. Spoiler alert, I don't really want to grow their Bowmaster. Just, probably fetching Dryad Arbor. Maybe a Surveil Land. Not a Surveil Land? Okay. Yep, my spell's gone. Thoughtseize. Yikes. Um, they have 2 mana right now. I don't know if I'm supposed to counter this. I think I am. I don't think it changes the clock. I think I'm supposed to counter this. Not happy about it. Really wish I had a Spell Stutter Sprite. That would counter real good. What the hell does that mean? Um, that means they have another Bowmasters. Um, Alright, well, I guess if they have another Bowmasters, I could block the Orc Army token. Um, I could block the Bowmaster itself, and that guaranteed kills it. Oh no, they're all 1/1s. It means they have Pendelhaven. Right. Herder. They might still have another Bowmasters anyway, but they certainly have Pendelhaven face up on the table right now. Yeah, there it is. Okay. I think I want this one to start attacking next turn. Steam Vents. Okay. I guess I want to be able to hold up Subtlety and untap. Oh yeah. Or I can just, like, untap 3 times. If I counterspell, it is gone. Would very much like to draw Flame of Anor, I think. I would like to will Flame of Anor to the top of my deck. I would like very much to not have that card be on the battlefield right now. Okay, you can put that right back on top of your deck. Uh, Top, yeah. Okay. I'm gonna untap this thing twice and bash them with as much flying power as I can muster. I just need their life total to be as low as possible. That's pretty low. 3, 6, 9. Yeah. Do I just bolt them now? I don't know. If I do, then they couldn't do anything about it. I think I make them go for it. Well, they're currently dead on board. They just do no targets on this, but they target the halfling. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yeah, they couldn't beat the board. Didn't have to reveal the pool. Okay, I think that I'm gonna consider no changes here. On the draw, I have to be much more concerned about a turn 1 mana dork. But, say la vie, I suppose. See if I can get one on the draw with my sideboard that is not cut out for this. Huh. No red mana. The one spell stutter sprite's still here. This hand does. I would have to pitch cast subtlety on a one drop, but then I could spell stutter it on the way back down. That's really interesting. I have explosives and I have two colors. I have a fast dragon. I have a. That's what am I saying? I have a dragon. I would like it to be a fast dragon. Um, well, I think with this hand, most draws are good. Third land is good. Snapcaster wouldn't be a good draw, I suppose. Um, oh, I'm not on the play, so that thing that I said about subtlety there, turn one, and then sprite it on the way back down, that is just completely a lie. That is not real. So I'm gonna try to find a bolt. Hooray, I did it. I found two of them. That's super exciting. I think I'm putting the subtlety back actually, and then just go for fast dragon and hopefully find a counterspell or a grist. Yeah, I guess I can pretend that I have subtlety. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, there it is. Another bolt. All right, I'm in. I like it. So back to the opponent here. If they play a wall and put something onto the battlefield with the wall, then I can flame slash and bolt. So that would be nice. Hat Pat. Uh, okay, I think I will bolt her while I can. Breeding pool. Not what I was looking for exactly. If they have a bowmaster, then holding this consider is going to be obnoxious, but I think I'd like to represent a counterspell at least. That's fine. You got me. Wolf, that's fine. Sad about it. I would have totally sprited that if I could. Um, so end of turn. Let's go Thundering Falls. Free Surveil. Um, Interesting. I do kind of like this, but if I bin it, it makes Murktide come out faster, which I also like. So let's do that. And then let's bolt here or consider now. I'm not sure. I'll bolt here. Just as little mana as possible, please. Now what? Now we find another Murktide. Okay. So removal spells aren't very good here. I guess I'll play the land now. I'm not sure. I don't have any fancy lands. Consider. Not really interested in that. Oh, Nora's not bad. Um, so if I play a dragon right now, and they have Grist, that is worst case scenario for me. There are 7 cards. I'd be taking 5 of them. That puts me down to 2. If Grist hits this, then I have 3 cards in the graveyard. So I have just enough to play another Murktide next turn. So I suppose I will do so. 1, 2, 3, 4. No. I think I want the Flame of Anor still. Maybe I want the Bolt still. I think I want the Flame of Anor still. So let's do it this way. It's likely that it gets exiled from my graveyard next turn anyway, but 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. Okay. I played a land already? Yeah, I have. Okay. I suspect that my opponent will grist down my dragon, and then I will flame slash the undead young wolf and play another dragon. That is how I suspect this turn's about to go. Oh my god, that's crazy. Oh my god, and you're minusing? That's crazy. Oh my god, and my dragon's dead? How could I have ever accounted for this? And then 1 point of damage. Okay. Owie. Well, that's kind of annoying. Because now I want this Flame of Nor to stay in my graveyard. Um, but I also want this Grist off the battlefield, so let's take this down and play the other dragon. I am sad that Snapcaster is not going to have any targets, so here's hoping I draw spells. Please don't have another Grist. That'd be the worst case. Hmm. Okay, Halfling's fine. Hmm. Okay, so they have another Grist. No, they have Cord. They have Cord for Grist. Alright, you got me. I'm dead. Can't beat everything. Yep. Yeah, this match seems abysmal. Spell? No, there's that land I would need to flash back my spell that I don't have anymore. Um, so here's where I just get buried. Yeah, I don't want to play anymore. Okay. So I definitely need something in my sideboard to adapt for Yogg, and possibly I need a better plan post board against Living End. I'm not sure. I mean, game one Living End, they just kind of had everything. They had double protection Living End. Game two, I drew my lands in a terrible order and then messed up my Murktide Regent. So Living End might be an okay matchup. Um, just I'm gonna lose to their Nutdraws, and I'm also gonna lose to my making a suboptimal decision. I haven't gotten to really make use of Snapcaster Pick Your Poison, which was the whole reason that I wanted to play this deck. So there's some sideboard space that could be opened up by cutting a couple of those. Something for Yawgmoth probably, like Hibernation or Brotherhood's End. Okay, plan for a positive record and still continuing to lose die rolls. Kahira, well, that's probably a 4-color control deck. I have a Sleep Cursed Fairy, and I have a Force of Negation. I have Counterspell, so this hand seems pretty set up against a 4-color control deck. I don't want to count my chickens before they hatch, but I'm able to 4. Alright, if I cannot win this game, then I think this deck is fundamentally flawed. Or my opponent's playing Valakut, or not Valakut, Charbelcher, which I have seen play Kahira just to throw people off. But if they're doing that, then I think I will be okay. Okay, they are not playing Charbelcher. Right, here's a Sleep Curse Fairy. If they cast Red and 6, I will force a negation the hell out of it. There's a Rowgren Triumph. Breeding Pool, Red and 6, force of negation, move on with my life. That's not a Breeding Pool. Okay, maybe they're not playing the Red and 6 version. They're doing something? They have Fire Ice? Okay, sure. Well, now if they cast a fairy, I have to force a negation it. That's annoying. So it looks like they're on a Chalice control deck. Prefer not to have to force a negation it to fairy, but I will do it pitching Remand, probably. I do like remanding my own spells in counter in control matchups, but I did not get to remand a single Cascade spell. Well, I wouldn't want to remand a Cascade spell. I haven't gotten to remand a single Suspend spell this league. Unfortunate. Those remands can certainly be something different. Alright, paying costs. Well, I can destroy artifacts in my deck, so I think I'll just let this resolve and consider right now. Looking for something to do. Because I really don't want to force this. I'll take another red source. I'm strongly suspicious that they are not going to Blood Moon me. That's a good one. I can snap counterspell things with that. Just need to get to 4 mana. Likely, I am going to. Sad, draw one. Likely, I'm gonna remand whatever my opponent does. Do I need to play this untapped in case I want to hardcast Force? I don't think so. I gotta save the 2 life points, and if they cast something worth remanding, I'll do, and if they don't, then I'll untap my fairy. Move on with my life. This is either a Surveil land or another Trio. Zagoth? Yeah, that one. It's the usual one. Alright, play the ring so I can put it back in your hand and draw a card. Well, I guess I can pitch Sleep Curse Fairy with Force of Negation pretty safely. I do want to use Remand if possible to maximize my chance of hitting land 4 for Snapcaster Mage. So that I have access to either Snap Remand or Snap Counterspell later. Like Counterspell plus Untap Fairy, and then go to my next turn. Okay, this better not be Verdict. Chalice on 2. You cannot have that one. That one's rude. Okay, that's the worst possible. The worst card remaining in my deck. Jesus, my deck does not want to win games today. I guess I'll just pass and try again. I know they have Chalice and one other card. I will probably remand Chalice again. And then I get to start attacking with my Sleep Curse Fairy. Alright. Still not interested in this thing. Go away. Jesus, deck. I just want to land. That's not the worst thing I've ever drawn. So I could cast this and just kind of say, I bet you're not holding Supreme Verdict. This I'm going to count. So that'd be 9 damage on the board. They cast the thing, I force the thing, pitching one of these. Smack them for 9 out of 4. And then I think I'm in good shape. Yeah, I'll force basically anything here. Um, Planning on forcing the Chalice, but they're going to have two new cards at hand that I'm not going to know about. If one's Supreme Verdict, that's the worst case. Oh, they have Leyline Binding. That's annoying. Yeah. Okay. So now they're going to have one unknown card. Gonna force pitching Sleep Cursed Fairy, and then continue to attack my opponent for 3. If they're thinking about this, that means they drew a spell. They cannot cast for 1 mana. Well, they certainly can't cast for 1 mana. So I guess, what did they draw? Solitude? The Ring? Something like that? Okay. Target, pitch. Okay, 4 turn clock. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. Let's see, have they shown me Counterspell yet? No, they haven't, but I would suspect that they have it. And I don't want to tab out of Counterspell mana if they can put the 1 ring on this deck. Is this a Teferi? No, it's Kahira. Okay, that's fine. So I guess they drew Solitude, and they're gonna have to pay the ward. My best guess. Cast this, draw 2 cards, destroy artifact. Target me. Luckily, I'm not an artifact. So I'd like this to go away. Please don't have counterspell. Okay, thanks. Okay. They have a pause here, so they could certainly have counterspell. They do not. Okay. Man, as a deck that wants to get to 4 mana to cast Subtlety and Snapcaster Mage, I'm thinking that I should have a 21st land in here. Because I've missed on lands a lot. Not quite sure what it should be, though. I thought about Mutavault, but I'm a deck that's playing Archmage's Charm. That's a lot of blue mana, so I don't think Mutavault's it. And it could be another basic island, could be the 4th Steam Vents, could be another Surveil land. I think 2's a good number on Surveil lands, though. Okay, they're doing nothing. And I know they have Kahira in hand. So, what does that mean? I think it means I want to bolt them in the end step. Probably they have a Solitude. They have to pitch cast. They could have a Leyline Binding. Nothing. Weird. I think I should have flashed at Spell Setter. Specifically because they're 1 life. What is happening here? They're gonna ice my land. Not my creature. I'm surprised, but okay. Sure. Could have spreaded that, I guess. It's that Solitude that I was expecting a turn ago. It is a Leyline. Oh, shit. I accidentally clicked through that. That's annoying. Alright, well, you know. I meant to counterspell this. Whoops. Okay. Well, in that case, I will simply pass my turn. I still don't think I'm going to be losing this one. Did they say something in chat? They said whelp. Interesting. See, I guess this is casting Kahira. If I had to guess. Hey, look, a Kahira. Uh, I don't really want to counter it, so I won't. Alright, this is what I should have done last turn. Flashes at end of turn, because it attacks for 1 damage. Finally. Okay. So now I can go to attack, and they will be dead. And if they have Solitude, I will counterspell it. If they have a Leyline Binding, I will remember to counterspell it this time. If they have Fire Ice, I will counterspell it. They had both Solitude and Leyline Binding. I will counterspell it. That was a weird game. My opponent almost had as many cards in hand as I did. So they're a Chalice deck. Pick your poison. Not real good against that one though. Explosives might be okay. Flame Slash is terrible. Most of my deck is actually pretty good here. Stern Scolding can get Solitude. Pick your poison could get a Ring or a Leyline Binding, so it's probably good enough. I don't like cutting all the bolts because it's kind of part of my built-in win condition, but it is the worst card in my deck. Subtlety is okay. Flusterstorm is okay. Stern Scolding is okay. Maybe I keep like a bolt. I have this one subtlety that's kind of hanging out. I can get Solitude with it. That's kind of all they showed me. There's also a ton of pick your poisons. Maybe I just pretend that I have a 13 card sideboard. But like, I don't know. I know they have Leyline Binding. I guess it's not particularly good against me. It's kind of annoying against the Sleepcursed Fairy that it comes back with all those stun counters on it, but I'll have to kill it again. Maybe I keep in exactly 2 bolts, because they're just instant speed lava spikes. And then explosives for Chalice is something that I could have. A second subtlety is something that I could have. I mean, subtlety has power, it can attack. That is how I have to win this game, is by attacking. I don't think I need explosives for Chalice because I have Flame of Nor that does that on its own. And luckily, I did win the game where my opponent mulled before. I do not have a turn 1 Sleep Cursed Fairy, but I do have a hand that is rather reasonable, so I think I'm going to keep it. Just lands and spells. Force of Negation if I really need it. Oh, there's a Sleep Cursed Fairy. Never didn't have it. Right on schedule. Alright. If they cast Chalice on 1, I might Force of Negation it, because it does lock out 2 cards in my hand. What a pain. I don't really need the Considers, though. So this pause should tell them that I have Force of Negation, but whatever. You know what? I'm gonna let them have it. It was kind of annoying last time, but we'll see. Can you calm down with the 1-drops immediately after Chalice comes into play? Please. Okay, well, I still have 3 cards in my hand. They don't have a land. That's fascinating. I don't know if I'm supposed to untap this or surveil. I really want to hit a 3rd land, so I'm going to surveil. Land, please. Well, that's one of the cards that will prevent me from looking for a land. They're going to ice me? No? Okay. That would be sad if they did. Alright, if I have to go to discard on my turn, it's fine. Just discard a Consider or pick your poison. Right, end step. I can attack now, yay! Dover online. Oh, and we even found the 3rd land. Love that. Opponent could have Solitude, I suppose. I'd probably counterspell that. Alright, I think that this Archmage's Charm is better as a counterspell than it is as draw 2. I can also gain control of the Chalice, which is very funny, because it does nothing. They have 8 cards in hand, so if they have a Solitude, they'll probably make it now. Make the play now, rather. They do have Solitude, exiling Leyline Binding. if I use Archmage's Charm, it's only because I might draw a fourth land and then hold up double counterspell. But Archmage's Charm still has additional modes that are interesting. I'm gonna go for a counterspell. Pitch delay land binding? That's, yeah. Ooh, Dovin's Veto. That's fascinating because they can no longer kill my Sleepcurse Fairy. I don't know if they were thinking about that, to be perfectly honest. Yeah, more trigger. So, Murktide region. Well, now I might start spewing Considers in the graveyard if I really have nothing better to do with my life, so that I can put Murktide region into play. Um, eh. Oh darn. Okay. Oh, another one. Thanks, deck. Can you calm down with the one drops, please? Hmm. My opponent has found another land. Although them fetching with it actually makes me kill them a turn faster. It's interesting. Yeah, I certainly think that I would like a 21st land in this deck. Or Lorien Revealed or something. That I do not want you to have, opponent. I mean, it doesn't actually do anything, which is funny. Like, I can't target Sleepcurse Fairy right now. I think I'm going to counterspell it again. Still holding up Archmage's Charm on the off chance I need to draw two. Then I'll just go ahead and spew this again. So that I have 5 cards in my graveyard. There's a land. um, so I don't think I'm actually going to play the Murktide this turn. I highly doubt my opponent's going to tax me for 1, but I'm going to play this untapped because I feel like it's kind of free to do so. Now I'm holding up Archmage's Charm and Pitchcast Force of Negation, and they're at 3. So I think I have this one. Alright, well, if we do it like this, then I only get one of these counterspells. So the opponent would have to have um, Leyline Binding. It's funny that they can't actually ice Sleep Cursed Fairy very well, so I will just untap it. They could have Leyline Binding or Solitude, and I can counter. They do have Supreme Verdict. I can counter this. Blue, blue. That's not blue. Blue. Then I guess if they have Domin's Veto now, it's still not enough because they're missing their 4th land. Dispute. Okay, that's rude. Okay. I don't have 3 mana. Okay. Mm-hmm. 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 Okay. Alright, let's see if they have another verdict. Here's a big old dragon. Doesn't really matter how big it is, in fact. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess. And they have subtlety too. Okay, that's crazy. I've cast so many mind rots this game. Uh, I think I want to put this on top because it'll still kill them as long as I can cast it. Okay, so they didn't add Kahira, which means they can counter this. How are they going to counter it? It's like actual counterspell or something. Um, it's annoying. I'm not sure if I can play around it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can certainly do something about it. I just don't know what it is. Probably actual counterspell or mystical dispute. I don't know if I can wait for them to tap lower. I'm going to be a little bit cheeky about this and not cast it. They found their 4th land. Well, if they add Kahira to hand, then I know it's Mystical Dispute. Would like to draw a 2-mana spell, please. That's a Surveil land. That puts more stuff in the graveyard. If I can get to having 3 mana open when I cast Murktide, then I can pay for a Mystical Dispute. 3 cards in hand, still not adding Kahira. Surveil, please. That counts. It's a good one. It's 2-mana spell. Am I supposed to jam pick your poison into this stupid thing? And then have more stuff in my graveyard? I have to tap 4 mana right now. 1, 2, 3, 4. That leaves 2 mana open, so it's exactly enough to go Murktide, Counterspell, hold up Force and Negation on their turn. Uh, I guess that's the plan then. No, thank you. Alright, if they have Verdict, then they got me, I guess. If they have Solitude, I guess they got me too. Leyland Binding or Ring I have covered. Teferi I have covered. Pay costs for something. Well, it's not a hard cast Solitude. If it's exactly Ice my thing, then I might let it resolve, but I might go for lethal. It's a leyline binding. Like this to not resolve, please. I will pay 3 mana for a mystical dispute. Okay, we got there. Alright, we ended up positive. Um, so I think the post-board plan against Amulet is okay. I think that the main deck really needs another mana source somewhere. The Remands did not really pull their weight. Forces were good. Subtlety was good. Two Murktides felt like a good number. So I think I never really wanted Preordain over this Consider in this build. So um, I'm thinking if I were to update this and try again, probably I would cut the two Remands or possibly the main deck Subtlety and fit in another mana source or Lorien Revealed. And then so I'd cut some of those. I thought about putting Spell Pierce in, but I didn't really like that. It doesn't jive with my idea of no dead cards for my main deck. Um, so I might end up cutting the Flame Slash as well, maybe moving it to the board. Not sure what else I would put in. Like Preordain seems okay. Opt seems like okay. I'm thinking right now about Lorien Revealed. So like maybe -2 Remand and -1 Flame Slash for 3 Lorien Revealed. Maybe that's too aggressive, but that is what I'm thinking about. As far as the sideboard goes, I need something for Yawgmoth. Turns out 4 Pick Your Poison felt like a lot. Probably would cut 2 of those. And 4 Fluster's Arm feels fine against the Cascade decks. Didn't run into Rhinos at all, or Hammer, so these explosives felt kind of weird. But I know those decks are out there, so I probably wouldn't remove them. Um, if I put in any moon effects, I'm likely to cut some number of subtleties. Uh, but I'm not sure I need them. Probably I should have a moon or a magus somewhere in here. It's like -2 pick your poison, minus a subtlety, maybe, and then like minus a flusterstorm, and then something for Yogg. So like those are cards that I could cut, and then add something like Brotherhood's End, Hibernation. Um, I don't know, something like that. Brotherhood's End, Hibernation, more Stern Scolding, perhaps. I'm not sure. The Yawgmoth match felt tough. I'd have to reevaluate that, or just accept that as a bad matchup. And then Living End um, felt like game one they had a hand that I just couldn't beat, and then post board I messed up my Murktide and lost my chance to get a game 3 because of it. So maybe I need a little bit more help against Living End, but Spellstutter Sprite and all this counter magic makes me feel like I should be okay. Um, anyway, those are my thoughts. And then I'm gonna sign off, and then let me know what you think.